What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Johnny Mack here. Just wanted to give you a heads up that if you are looking for a community that is open to discussion as far as mentorship, conservation, the wild, becoming a better person, and all of that, there is a group for you on Facebook, and it is called Soul Seekers. Soul Seekers, we are all about making ourselves a better person. We're all about making sure hunting lasts for generations to come and encouraging people to get plugged in. Whether you are someone who has something to give or someone who needs to soak it up like a sponge, this is a community for you, and I strongly encourage you that if you're on Facebook to join Soul Seekers, and if you're not on Facebook, hop on there just for that group. It is only going to be as powerful as we all make it. And so just remember that life happens for you, it doesn't happen to you, and that you can't outgive good. You can't outgive good, people. I want you to understand that, and I want you to believe it, because when we believe that and we lead with courage and we lead with intention, lives are changed, lives are transformed, just like on this podcast, transformation through primal adventure. Be blessed. Enjoy this episode. Talk soon. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Soulful Hunter Podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Mack. Through this podcast, I'm on a mission to transform lives through primal adventure and to spread my mission of mentorship as conservation. This podcast is powered by Washington Backcountry, a resource for all hunters, both new and old. To find out more about Washington Backcountry, go to wabackcountry.com or search for Washington Backcountry on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. The Soulful Hunter Podcast is also proudly presented by the Crazy Elk Company. Based out of the state of Washington with products made in America, they are providing solutions with gear to problems you didn't even know you had. Their tag wallet is one of those solutions, and I had the pleasure of using it on all of my hunts this last year, and it is now a mainstay in my kill kit. The tag wallet is a water-resistant zippered pouch that comes with its own reusable zip ties to safely and securely store your notch tag for quick and easy access. For more information, go to crazyelkcompany.com and use the code SOULFUL with a capital S to save 20% at checkout. Be blessed, everyone, and as always, stay soulful. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Soulful Hunter Podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Mack, and today's episode is dedicated to an Instagram question that I was given the other day, and it was all about what is my why summed up in one sentence. And as I started to ponder that, and before I dove into that response, I thought about it. I was like, okay, well, I know what I stand for. I know what I want. But very rarely does someone ever say, what is your why? And as I was diving into this, first off, that's a great question. What is your why? What do you stand for? I've kind of covered this on a previous episode, probably about a month ago. But if you take that and ask yourself, what is your why? Could you answer it? Could you answer what you stand for? For me, I had to think about it. I was like, okay, well, I have all these different things that I truly stand for. But when it comes down to making one sentence statement, what is my why? So if you missed my response to that on Instagram, which I totally don't blame you if you didn't see that, my response was to create a community and life that provides space for all to thrive and live abundantly. Now, that is my why. Why do I wake up in the morning and do every single thing that I do? My why is when I wake up, it is my purpose, my passion, my effort, my energy goes into creating a community. You know, that is my spouse. That is my relationship with my creator. That is my relationship with my children, my friends, my community of support. and everyone that I interact with on a daily basis to create a community and life. So I'm creating a life for not only myself, but for my wife and children that provides space for all to thrive and to live abundantly. Now, what does it mean to provide space? So, if you've never heard the concept of providing space, think of it as like when someone goes to a counselor or a therapist, and that therapist just sits there and listens. They are providing space and an opportunity for people to explore their feelings, their emotions, and everything that goes along with it. So, if I was to ask you, what is your why? What are you creating each and every day? Each and every moment? Each and every opportunity? Because remember, we are not results of the circumstances in our life. When we wake up and every day is the present, it is a gift. That's why they call it the present. It is a gift. It is an opportunity to create the life you want. Now, you've heard me talk about what do you want on this podcast a lot, but not very often do I talk about the why. And I've really appreciated this question. And I'm going to do a shout out. Dave Dowdy, you are the one that asked me this question. And I really appreciate it. And it created a lot of inward reflection. Because if you've heard this podcast, you heard me talk on this podcast a lot, you know that I'm always talking about inward reflection leads to outward correction. So when we think about how we are showing up in the world, when we think about what we are doing in this world for our day-to-day lives, it is imperative that we understand the what and the why. Because content without context is dangerous. Do you go through your day-to-day monotonous life, checking boxes, going down the list, wake up, do the same thing over again? This is where I can't stand the term grind, and I've talked about this before on podcasts, is that life should not be a grind. And I don't use the word should very often. It should not be a grind. Life is the most wonderful, incredible thing that you have. Make it the most incredible thing that you have. It's an opportunity. So, what is your why? And can you sum it up in a sentence? If you can't, why can't you? Why are you not able to sum up your why? What do you stand for? There's a song by the band Fun, period. I don't know if that's how they go by, but F-U-N, period, fun. And one of the lyrics in their song is like, what do you stand for? What do you stand for? Most nights I don't know anymore. Whoa, whoa. And you can hear my horrible singing. I can play music, but singing a tune is not my strong suit. Anyways, the whole concept is like, what do you stand for? What are you willing to go to war for? What are you willing to die for? What are you willing to wake up and get out of bed for? What is your why? What is your why, ladies and gentlemen? And if you cannot answer that, it's time for you to answer it. It's time for you to take account of your life. It's time to take inventory of what you've done. Whether you're 18 years old, 10 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old. There's no time like the present because each and every moment that we have is a gift and it is special and it is an opportunity for us to make the most out of our lives. So are you making the most out of your life? My day, when I starts with me waking up, opening my eyes, and saying to God, thank you for blessing me with another day and returning my soul back to my body. I start off with gratitude. I start off with a gracious heart because it's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to have the opportunity to create. Whether it's, you have to go to your 9 to 5, or you don't have to go to your 9 to 5, but you choose to go to your 9 to 5, or whatever you are actually choosing into, do it with purpose, do it with passion, do it with meaning. And all of that is a part of your why, because when you identify your why, you identify your purpose and your passion that follows suit with it. Why do I do a podcast? Why do I create content for a website, for a TV show? Why do I do what I do? It is because I want to create a community and a life that provides space for all that I come into contact with to thrive and live abundantly. That is my why. So why do I mow the lawn and do it with a grateful heart and a smile on my face? It is because I mow that lawn because I'm blessed to have that lawn, and then I'm blessed to have the children to enjoy that lawn. And it is an opportunity for them, my children, to live and thrive in what they are blessed with. Every opportunity in life is an opportunity for growth, for enhancement, for learning, and whatever you want to call it. Life is an opportunity, and it's how we view the world, right? So we can view the world through rose-colored glasses, regular glasses, maybe it's bifocals, maybe it's dark lenses. But it's our choice of how we view the world. You have the option to change your perspectives. You change your perspective on how you view your situation, your circumstance, your present moment, with your eye on the prize. And that prize is what you want. And in order for you to get what you want, your why needs to be strong enough. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "A man with a why can overcome almost any how." A man with a why can overcome almost any how. And I've talked about that quote before, and it's referenced in one of my most favorite books, and that is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. So what is your why? Because if anyone has a why strong enough, it'll overcome almost any how. And so my why is to create a community and life that provides space for all to thrive and live abundantly. What is your why? What do you stand for? When you hop on social media, why are you posting pictures? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you speak to people the way you speak to them? Why do you smile or frown at them? Why do you treat people the way you treat them? What do you want out of this life? What is your why? Because your heart leads with the why. Your heart leads with the why. You've heard me talk about mentorship as conservation. That is my why when it comes to everything hunting related. That and that hunting has the power to transform lives through primal adventure. Those are whys. They're also whats. They're mission statements. What's your mission statement for your life? And why are you not taking account of it? Because your life is precious. Each moment is precious. You don't get these opportunities back. It's time. It's time, because inward reflection leads to outward correction. And if you haven't stopped, paused, reflected upon what you want and the why of your life, what are you waiting for? Either your life, you treat it as special, set apart, or you are going to treat it like it's just another life. No different, nothing set apart. And it's not that one person is better than another person, because we're all created equal in the eyes of God. But we also have free will. And our free will gives us the opportunity to change the course of our life. So what do you stand for? What is your why? I challenge each and every one of you to ask yourself and to define what is your why. And then tell somebody. Write it on a sticky note. Put it on your computer screen. Take a dry erase marker and write it on your bathroom mirror. So you look at it every day and you brush your teeth and you're like, okay, this is my why. My why is to create a community and a life that provides space for all to thrive and live abundantly, which means all. That means me, you, our kids, their kids, our community, and everyone I'm coming into contact with. So why is it so important to then smile at people, say kind words, lead with love, lead with kindness, goodness, faithfulness, meekness, all the fruits of the Spirit? Because when we put out love into the world, we're going to get it back. And we don't do it to get it back. We do it because that is what we're called to do. So are you living the life that you've been called to? Or are you living a life that is the doldrums, the grind, I'm never going to get out of this, and living with a mentality that is going to hold you back? Think about it, chew on it, talk about it, get out of your head, have conversations with your spouses, your friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, community. Discuss this. What is your why? And if you don't know what your why is, then you probably don't know what your friend's why is or your spouse's why is and all this. And so the question is how deep of a life and how deep of a friendship and relationships do you want to have in this world? You always complain about, I don't have that close of friends, or I don't have this good of a relationship with so-and-so. Well, why not? You're half of the relationship. You want a deeper, more impactful, and meaningful life, then start to create it, and it starts with you. It starts with inward reflecting. It starts with identifying your why. It starts with identifying your what, and it starts with each and every moment. Be blessed, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, freedom on and stay soulful. If you enjoyed today's podcast, I'd love it if you could go ahead and give this a rating as well as subscribe. Also, you can check us out on Instagram under the Soulful Hunter Podcast. Make sure to tag us in pictures and posts and use the hashtag Soulful Hunter. To find out more about the Soulful Hunter Podcast, go to soulfulhunter.com and be sure to follow the podcast, as we are going to be bringing you a lot of great information, insight, and changing lives through primal adventure. I look forward to connecting with you on the next episode. Stay tuned and stay soulful.